Good evening. This is Grow Your Ayurvedic Business, Week 10, Lead Sources. I'm Jacob Griscom, and this is an Everyday Ayurveda production. As we start the content here tonight, let's have our opening preparation and meditation, turning off any additional distractions, cell phone, text messaging, email, instant messaging. Create a quiet and focused space for yourself. Calm your breath. Calm your body. With your next exhalation, step immediately into the witness, the watcher. Watch all thoughts, but create space from them. Identify with them as self. Rest in the heart and the field of consciousness that emanates from that space. Feel the opening and the energy of your body. Exist fully in the now. Expand, feel our group, our Ayurvedic community, the collective field of all sentient beings. Allow yourself to be felt, to be one with that. And let's just follow the gentle flow of the breath and the stillness in between to rest in that space. Om Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitun Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om. Namaste. Why do you need lead sources? Well, because having multiple channels for leads means that you'll have a steady and sustainable flow of prospective clients who are, 1, joining your list, 2, attending your events, and 3, becoming happily paying, committed clients. This is really the essence of step 4, building your marketing, creating flows, channels, of prospective clients that are constantly coming into your system. And your system is consciously designed to turn them into subscribers and then deeper levels of subscribers in terms of attending an event at some level, and then becoming a happily paying, committed client. Right? So it's by design. If you don't have multiple channels for leads, you may have a great business system and program, but you won't have enough flow coming in. So you won't have enough subscribers, event attendees, or clients. Now, with anything that we look at, we have these concepts of depth and span. And in this case, Span would be the number of prospective clients that are coming to your opt-in page, your landing page, right? Seeing your opt-in offer, having an opportunity to join your list. So that's a span. And in this case, you want to have as much span of targeted traffic as possible, as many prospective clients as possible. The depth in this case is how well that converts. How well that converts. How many of those prospective clients take you up on the offer? How many visitors to that landing page does it take before somebody subscribes? And then how many subscribers does it take to get someone at one of your events or presentations? And then how many people do you need at your events or your presentations to get a client? Knowing those numbers is great because that becomes a really important thing to be able to measure. And you can always be increasing your span. So even if you keep your conversion at the exact same levels, if you increase your span, your business grows. If your span stays at the same, and you increase your depth, meaning you increase your conversion, you become more effective at turning a prospective client into a client, then your business grows. So both of those are important. So tonight, let's review these pieces. Let's focus again just on how all these pieces fit together so you can get the overall map, and then we can drill down to this portion of it. And in this portion, we're going to go over tonight 9 sources for free leads. 9 of them. 9 whole sources for free leads. That's a lot. We're also going to cover 3 sources for paid leads. You might be asking, with all of these free leads, why would I ever pay for leads? Well, because paid leads you can get really, really quickly. It's a great way to test. And anything that gives you a return on investment, you should use. Free stuff is not entirely free, right? It still requires time, energy, some input or another. So money, paid sources are just another way to have an input and measure what sort of return you get. So lastly, we're going to talk about testing and tracking your lead sources to get the best return on investment, ROI, for your time, your energy, and your money. Sound good? Good. So let's look at the pieces here again. This is hopefully becoming a deeply ingrained part of your consciousness. Right? So you can think through these 5 steps. You can see how these fit together. And again, if you know these 5 steps, you become immediately much more savvy than most people in just about any industry. You could help anyone in just about any industry improve their overall business, grow their business through these steps. You may not know their world, you might not know the details, but you'd know what questions to ask about what they have in place. So the first is, do you know your market? Have you figured out exactly who you serve and how? Right? Can you answer the question, what do you do, in a clear and concise way that allows the person who's hearing your response to determine whether or not they are your client, your prospective client, and or if they know anyone in their lives who are. Step 2, have you built your program? Have you gotten clear on the behaviors, the consciousness, the culture, and the systems that get results, that get long-term sustainable results? Whatever those results are, have you figured out the map of how you bring people from where they are to where they want to be? Step 3, have you built your system? Have you turned that map into some free content, including a free report, a free presentation, a free session process? So you develop your content, your prospective client path. Again, this is conscious design. So by design, somebody enters into the system, and they are moved consciously forward towards becoming a client. They visit your landing page, where they opt in to get some valuable free content, your free report, for example. Then once they're on your list, they receive invitations to come to your free presentations. Once they've come to a free presentation, they receive an invitation to sign up for a free introductory session. In that free introductory session, you practice the spiritual practice, the sales sadhana of uncovering challenges and costs, desired results and impact, and enrolling a prospective client into your program. Then step 4, where we are now in this program, building your marketing. You send prospective clients into that system that's been consciously built, consciously created. And you send them there through as many lead sources as you possibly can. Every time that you see a new potential lead source and you have time for it, you put it on a list, test it, track it. If it turns into traffic and it's not, outrageously expensive, you know your numbers in terms of your conversion. That's a great way to know, is this worth this investment? You get to ultimately, and we'll be covering that, find out, how much is one individual client coming to your website worth? You'll be able to actually break down your numbers to about that level with your current conversion rates. And then you'll be able to make decisions for marketing or advertising choices. Say, is that worth my time, money, and energy? Let me check. And then step 5, growing your partnerships. This is what we're going to be covering week after next. We're going to talk about how to leverage your time, how to leverage your money, how to leverage your collective impact with groups, group programs, and developed partnerships. After this, there really is kind of a step 6, and we'll grow into it. Step 6 is that once you have group programs, once you have these partnerships in place, you can actually create products. You can create products that can extend beyond your local market, things that can serve and impact people that may never actually meet you. So that's the potential afterwards. And that obviously gives you great leverage because it doesn't cost you any time. And once it's created, it doesn't really cost you much money. And it can have a tremendous impact on many thousands, maybe even millions of people, depending on ultimately how big that gets. So obviously that's a huge income. It's very leveraged. So let's go ahead and look at these 9 sources for free leads. Here they are. You'll see the ones in bold on the left. These are the ones that I'm focusing on for a local practice, where the majority of most Ayurvedic practitioners are focused, is building a local practice. The ones on the right are a couple additional strategies, sources for free leads that are going to apply more for a virtual practice. And in fact, if your practice is not virtual or you don't have a virtual element, you really don't need those 2 on the right at all. They're not specifically they're going to be they're going to be much more time and energy investment than they are going to be returned. But if you do have virtual, they're highly valuable, very important. So the ones on the left, client referrals, social media, your email signature, deals, networking, press releases, and partners. And then on the right, YouTube and search engine optimization, SEO, and backlinks. So let's go through each. The first is client referrals. This is foundational, right? What you want to do is when you have a client, ask your clients for testimonials. And what will tend to happen is that you may not have to even ask. A lot of times, and most of the time, your clients will just be ongoing testimonial fountains fountains of testimonials. They'll email you and tell you such beautiful things about what's happening in their life, about the results that they're getting, about the insights they're having. And when they do that, you can ask them, hey, this is amazing. Can I use this as a testimonial? You can also ask for really specific testimonials, which is something that I'll do with all of you at the end of this program, where you really want to get at specifically, can you tell me about the concrete results you've gotten? Those are the most powerful testimonials, right? When a prospective client sees somebody talking about their overall experience and loving what's happening and all that, that's good. When they see or when they read about a prospective client getting the same results that they want to get and have, that's great. Very powerful. So focus on results and include them in all of your content. Every time you create content, pop it into an email, pop it into a blog entry, put it in your free report, put it, of course, on your landing page, put it in your e-courses, include it in your event, include it in your event invitations. Everywhere you put out content, include some testimonials. And include your best ones, and your best ones are going to be the ones that include results. You can also strengthen the testimonial by using the person's picture if they're open to that. A little headshot. Headshots increase the power. Where it's relevant, obviously for online media more than print. If you have a client that you like to ask for an audio or a video testimonial, that's excellent as well. So those are all great, but the main idea is ask for testimonials and then use them everywhere. And then, whenever somebody writes something positive, some results that they're getting, some experience that they're really enjoying having that's coming out of doing work with you, ask them if they know any other prospective clients and if they would introduce them to your work, right? Is there anyone else that they'd like to share this with? Who else in their life is in kind of a similar spot? And all they need to do, of course, is say, hey, I'm getting these great results and having such a wonderful experience working with my practitioner, my consultant, my coach. You should check them out as well, and you can check them out right here and send them to your landing page. Everything points to the landing page. Social media. This one's big. Going to have a lot of PDF supplements for this module here. So I'll have one for you for client referrals, how to ask for testimonials, what sort of things to ask for and focus on. And then I'll have a lot here for social media, how to optimize the big three. So again, with social media, like everything else, use social media to point prospective clients toward your landing page. That's the main purpose of them, the main purpose. Everything else is icing. That's the cake. Go to the landing page. So the big three, this is what matters in social media: LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And on Facebook, you have both a personal page and a business page, or a public figure page. Both of those are fine. I recommend business. LinkedIn is specifically focused on business networking. It's the business environment. It's the most professional of the three. So follow the instructions in the PDF to really optimize, to create and optimize your LinkedIn profile. Facebook is just huge. It's humongous. Everyone's on Facebook. Definitely want to use Facebook. And so follow the guidelines for optimizing your personal and your business page on Facebook. Again, remember that the main point of both of those from a business perspective. Now Facebook, of course, it's a way to extend all the way to the online invite. You can do everything on Facebook. So from a business perspective, though, the number one thing you're looking to do is to move people towards your landing page. So follow the optimization tools for how to do that. The most important point, and you may see this on the Everyday Ayurveda, on the Integral Ayurveda Facebook page, is that you have a welcome page that's the default that people will land on. So the first time that they click on your page, they will see that. They'll see your opt-in offer, and they'll be able to submit their name and email address, or just their email address, to get on your list. Twitter. Twitter is basically a way to think of Twitter as a way to integrate into LinkedIn and Facebook and to get some additional spread from those tools. You can use Twitter as a standalone device, or you can also basically sync it up with LinkedIn and Facebook. So again, rather than spending a lot of time on the technical details of that, they provide you with all of the information you need step by step to optimize all three of these. And for now, basically hold, what are they for? They're to point prospective clients towards your landing page so that they subscribe, they come to your events, and they become clients. Next up, your email signature. Yes, your email signature. Simple. Simply promote your business every time you send an email. So what you can do is have your name, any title that you want to include. And your title is a great way to practice your naming. So whatever market you focus on, create a name that's similar to that. We had a group coaching call today for the social media mastermind. And I suggested to one of the participants, one of our members on the call, that she think of a title like Overwhelm Eliminator. That was a niche she's looking at, was eliminating overwhelm. So you can use a clever title like that that is somewhat unforgettable and, again, conveys the main benefit of what you do. You help eliminate overwhelm. So you're an overwhelm eliminator. So you'd have your name, whatever title is relevant to the work that you do, relevant to your market. Then you can have your business or your product name, your program name underneath that. And again, I will have a PDF with all of these details, this template, so you can really just plug and play and fill it right in. And you might include a number of other things in there, but for sure include the links to your landing page, your LinkedIn page, so that people can join your network, and your Facebook page, so that they can like your business and get connected through all those different channels. And you can do that just on one line. And again, follow the template. I'll show you how to do all that. Then at the bottom of your signature, you can include a short quote. That quote can be your what you do statement or your opt-in offer. All right, so at the bottom of my email, you'll see, I help Ayurvedic practitioners build successful and transformative businesses for themselves, their clients, and their communities. So what you could do even after that is you could include the last portion of the what you do statement template there and say, do you know any, and then fill in the blank, prospective clients. And you can make that a link. You can have prospective clients. Do you know any Ayurvedic practitioners, for example? And then I can use a hyperlink, which is simply a way to say that you can see that you can click on that. And when people click on that, they can go directly to the landing page. Pretty great, huh? So that's one that you can implement right away, very easy. And if you are using something other than a professional business email, for example, your name at yourbusiness.com, right? Or your name at yourname.com if you got that URL, Jacob at jacobgriscom.com, or Jacob at everydayayurveda.com. Those would both be good. Then switch over to a professional business email. When you signed up for your hosting with HostGator, you have an email area in there, and you can create fairly unlimited numbers of different email accounts and then sync them to whatever email server system you use, any email program. That's much more professional than using a Gmail, a Yahoo, a Juno, MSN, any of those other ones. You can use those for personal, but in general, why not use your business email for everything? It's one more chance to leverage that basic activity that you do anywhere from 1 to 100 times per day, sending out that email for people to have top of mind, you and your business. So get that set up, and I will, again, include instructions in the PDF on how to do all of that. The next one, deals. This is a cool one. This is really relevant if you do body or skin therapies. Any body therapies, any body treatments, any skin treatments. The deals are a really sweet way to get a rush of new clients. So what you would do in this case is to work with a deals company to create a deal that many locals will see and purchase. And you can see a couple of deals company options on the business resources page. So the way this works is that they have daily deals. You may have signed up for one of these before or be familiar with this. When you sign up with a deal company, they work with you to create an offer, a daily deal, usually a discount on a service that you offer that will go out to all of the subscribers in your region. All of the subscribers in your region, they'll see this great deal, and they'll take action to buy. One of our practitioners did this recently through Living Social. As an esthetician, she put out a skincare offer that she designed and worked on with Living Social. It ran, and in 24, 48 hours, the time that the deal is open, I think it's open for 24 hours and then officially closes within 48. She got 300 new clients in one day. It generated about $10,000 in revenue, of which with these deals you get typically around 50%. So she got immediately $5,000 in revenue. Directly, immediately, from 300 new clients in one day. So I connected in, I said, after 6 weeks, how's that going? And after about 6 weeks, she's done about a third of these. She's seen about a third of these new clients. Some of the important things to realize, and I'll put this this will be in the PDF as well, is that you want to be set up, obviously, if you're going to get that big of a rush of new clients, you need to be set up to handle that many new clients. So make sure that you have your time driver, your time trade or your time to meet, Schedulicity, one of those services in place so that you're not spending all of your time scheduling each and every one of those. Give them a very easy way to schedule. Sync that up with your calendar so that people go into the right spaces. And consciously decide ahead of time, if your schedule is filled up, where do you want that to be? So again, this is a great option if you do any body or skin therapies. And it's probably, immediately, even though you get that big flood of cash, overall it's a loss compared to your normal rates. So the way that you make it a win, of course, is that you offer all of these new clients your free session offer as well. So you take them into the consulting realm. You take them beyond just the body or the skin therapy and include as a bonus, as a new client, that they also get your very valuable 1-hour free session that you have named really well in a very compelling way. It is concrete, specific, emotional, results-oriented. So all of these new clients are also getting an opportunity to schedule their free introductory session with you, which means that this is also 300 in this case, opportunities to have long-term committed clients. Now, if you convert even a portion of those, this one deal has been enough to give you a waiting list practice. Getting the power of this. This one deal, if you have the right system in place, has the potential to give you a waiting list practice for one-on-one clients. So this will quickly move you from step 4 to step 5. So make sure you're ready for it. Use it consciously, use it well, plan it out, really map out the plan of this new client. What's going to happen? What are they going to go through? Because the ending place, of course, is to enroll these new one-time clients through the sales sadhana process into happy, committed, long-term paying clients. Very powerful. Networking, right? Networking. What is networking? Networking is simply going wherever there's a concentration of your prospective clients. Now, depending on your niche, that could be at the grocery store. That could be at potentially at a formal business networking environment or a Chamber of Commerce event. It might be. The question you need to ask is, will there be a concentration of my prospective clients there? It might be at a gardening club. It might be a mom's group. It depends. Wherever there's a concentration of your prospective clients, go there and network. And what's networking about? Well, there are 3 kind of key things you want to bring. The last one is optional. The first 2, very necessary. You always want to have on you your what you do statement, which is an easy one to carry around because that can live in your mind and in your heart. So that when somebody asks, what do? You can answer them with, I help this sort of prospective client get these sort of great results or overcome these sort of horrible challenges. Do you know any of these prospective clients who would like these results? Right? So carry around your what do you do, your what you do statement everywhere you go. And then the second thing are your business cards. And I'm going to provide you with a template for some great ways to create your business cards. But basically, the goal of a business card is to get somebody to take action. Right? It's a way to send them to your landing page, like everything else. Point them to your landing page. So on the front, you might have your main headline, your main benefit, discover how to or learn how to get this great result that you want and overcome this horrible challenge that you have. How do you do that? Well, you visit this site. You visit the landing page. And on the back, you can have your information, your name, your phone number, your email, and again, your title. And then the third, the optional, if you want to expand that into a piece of content, more content, then you can create a brochure. And I'll provide you with some template ideas for what to create, what to have on your brochure. But it probably won't be too big a surprise that you're going to basically have why, what, how, and what if. Why? If you learn and implement what I'm about to share with you in this brochure, you're going to get these great results and overcome these challenges. If you don't, you're not going to get these results, and you're going to keep on having these challenges. And then what? Talk a little bit about how you work with clients and the different ways that they can get involved with you. First, visit this website here and get your free report. Second, so this would be the how, right? So you talk about the what. This is how I work with clients and how I help them get these results. And then here are the actions to take. First, you're going to want to sign up for your free report on this page. Second, you're going to want to look out for the next event or presentation that's coming up, and you're going to want to come to that. And then third, you'll want to schedule an introductory session, and then you can put as available, when available, if available, so that if they get that rare and sacred opportunity to have that enrollment process with you, they should jump right on it. So steps 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to say the what if. So take action right now. Take your very first step. Visit this landing page right now. Check out the information. Put in your name and email address. And click Submit to get it instantly. So a brochure is, again, just an expanded way to give the why, what, how, what if, and point people to your landing page. Press releases. This is fun. So we'll include some information on how to do a good press release. What's the idea here? The idea here is to get in the newspaper and on local radio for free, right? Get free coverage. If you can get a story written up on you, if you can get on the local radio program, that's fantastic. Live listeners, people who call in, people who read the newspaper, take action. It's a third party talking about you. It's different than an ad. It has way more credibility and value because somebody else is promoting you. Somebody else is interested in you and talking about you. It must be special. It must be good. It's called social proof. So you're going to create a media kit, and I'll show you how to do that in the attached PDF for this module. You're basically going to pitch a story, though, and you want to make your story interesting. Well, how do you make a story interesting? You just use good marketing techniques. You focus on the challenges you help people overcome and the results you help them get. You use a good format. This is a piece of content. You talk about the why, you talk about the what, you talk about the how, you talk about the what if. And in the what, you make it relevant to the local community, right? So if you're focused on, we had a practitioner on the Monday call focused on cardiac health, right? Preventing heart attacks. Avoid a heart attack. So one thing that would be really important for a press release in that case is to be able to say, you know what, this is how many heart attacks we have in our community on an annual basis. And this local program that I've started, if people follow it, I think that we could reduce this heart attack number down to this amount. Isn't that interesting? Wouldn't you like to do a story on that and learn about how that is? We can talk a little bit about how. You can give some, of course, case studies, some stories, even include a testimonial or two. Here's what some people are saying about this program, this work, the benefits that they're getting. All right, so make your story interesting. Why, what, how, what if. And then find the best candidates for having you as a guest to interview and contact them. All right, so look at the columns in your local newspaper and say, this is where this story would really fit. Look at the name, the reporter who writes that column, and address this press release specifically to him or her. Get it to the right person, the person most likely to be interested in your interesting story. Same thing with the radio. When you're listening to the local programs or when you pull up the website for your local radio station, look at the schedule of programs and look at the programs that have the most overlap with your target market area, the ones that are most likely to be interested in your story and in your work. And reach out to them directly. If you know them in your community, even better. Otherwise, just give them a call, make the introduction, make it happen. If you know that that person is going to be somewhere, go be there so that you can meet them in person. Strike a conversation, talk about their program, how much you love it, if you do, and then they'll ask, what do you do? And you can tell them your what you do statement. Partners. This is a huge potential source of prospective clients. Right? Your perfect partners already have a big list, a big network of prospective clients, and they're not direct competition. Right? So you wouldn't go after someone else who's potentially directly any sort of health coach in your exact same market, but you would want to focus on partners that have overlap, where you can provide that synergistic value. You can create those win-win-win relationships that serve you, they serve your partner, and they provide that additional value to your mutual clients. Right? Any place where that can overlap. And we're going to go into that in more detail in step 5 in week 12. But for now, be thinking this way. Here's a great way to be thinking about it. If people come to see me, where are they, either before they come to see me, after they see me, while they're seeing me? What are their other worlds? Become your prospective client. And oftentimes you already may be your prospective client. So just ask yourself, where do I hang out? Where else do I do business? Who else has my contact information? And have those people light up as perfect partners to reach out to. So be holding that just for now, and then in a couple of weeks we'll dig in and give you more specifics on what to do to reach out with them. You want to address partners really strategically, and that's, again, a larger conversation, so we'll spend some time on that. But for now, know that it's a huge potential source of prospective clients, and at least take the first step, even right now. As you're listening to this, you might start writing down some notes about the different places that your prospective clients spend time, spend money, look for trusted advice or input where there's overlap. So now we'll do these last two, which are more for a virtual focus, but again, really important to know about, and they will be relevant for you at some point if and when you create products, because products are not going to be limited to just a local environment. They're going to be things that people can download, buy, use from anywhere. So YouTube is one of the largest search engines online now. People use YouTube to search for tons and tons of things, and yet there's less content on YouTube than there are through the search engines for just normal search engine queries. So YouTube is this place where you can create a YouTube channel, and you can add videos and use clear headlines and use throughout the description of your video the keywords, meaning the words that people might be searching for if they were looking for the information that your video provides. So in each video, you want to provide some valuable content, something relevant to those keywords, something relevant to the search. And then you would ask people to subscribe to your YouTube channel. You'll direct them, of course, back to your landing page. And you'll ask them to like and comment on your video. Those are basically all the actions that you can take. When you watch a video on YouTube, this is everything you can do. You can ask people to subscribe to the channel. You can direct them somewhere else if you'd like to learn more, or to learn more, or to get the rest of this video, visit here. You can have it be kind of a teaser. And then, of course, you can ask them to like and comment. So that's YouTube. And we'll provide details on how to do all that. SEO and backlinks. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. And you can see our business resources section will add some SEO tools in there. Again, since this is a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of investment, this is really just something to focus on once your business has grown to a certain area and you have a really strong virtual product. The goal here, the results of search engine optimization, is to show up higher in the search engines. So Google, Yahoo, MSN, those are the big ones. And all of the smaller search engines focus on the bigger search engines as well. Obviously, if you have a product that makes a lot of sense to a lot of people, it's a large market, this is the most powerful thing you can do. Is when people are searching for related keywords and you come up organically towards the top, means that Google is actually saying, this is one of the most valuable places and relevant areas to get information on this topic you just searched about. So that's huge. The value is directly correlates with the amount of time, work, and money it takes to get there, however. And you need to use a full blog format website for this, right? You need to be able to create a website that is content-rich. So I don't mean to understate at all how challenging, how involved search engine optimization is, and also what a huge payoff it can give you if it's done well and if you have the right product to make use of it. So not something to focus on for a local Ayurvedic practice or business until you get to that point. So those are the free ones. Let's look at the paid ones. These are 3 sources of paid leads. The first is pay-per-click or PPC advertising. The next is online advertising partners. And then the third one is media advertising. And all of these, you can target local or non-local. So again, you can target local or virtual. You can focus on your immediate region, or you can expand it out to include, the entire nation, specific countries. Depends on how big you want to get and where, what you have to sell, to offer. So let's look at all 3, and we'll focus at this time on the local targeting. So pay-per-click, PPC advertising, is a way to use the search engines, and the big 3 are Google, Yahoo, and Bing, which is the Microsoft Network's search engine, as well as any of the other smaller search engines. And again, in the PDF that I include on pay-per-click advertising, I'll list some of those smaller search engines because they actually are good opportunities to sometimes get a lot more bang for your buck. At this point, Google is really the most expensive because it is the largest network. So I'd focus on Bing probably to start with. The place where you want to use search engines are for keyword advertising. So if your niche focuses on a specific condition, a specific problem area, that's where you can use keywords. So if you're focused on helping people with diabetes, with heart disease, with anxiety, right, these would be keywords. And what you'll do is you'll follow the instructions for how to use Google's keyword research tool to find all of the relevant keywords related to the topics that you help people with. So this, again, is very important the more condition-focused your niche is. And you want to make sure that unless you're virtually focused, that you include it's just local targeting. You'll be able to say, I want to have these ads just show up for people searching within this city or these cities or within a 10 or a 20-mile radius of this area or zip code. You have a lot of different ways to target locally. What will happen is that when somebody types in a keyword or a phrase, a query, into one of the search engines where you're running an advertising campaign, pay-per-click campaign, you will show up under the sponsored search results. And if they like what your ad has to say, if it seems relevant, they'll click on it. If they click on it, they'll go to your landing page. If they like what your landing page has to say, they'll opt in. And then you know what happens from there. They opt in, they come to talks and presentations, they become clients. Facebook advertising is focused more on demographics. This is great if your niche is person or interest focused. This has been very important for everyday Ayurveda. In fact, if you are listening to this right now, live or recorded, at some point or another, or perhaps the exact channel that you found out about Everyday Ayurveda, if you found out about me through, was a Facebook ad. So Facebook ads allow you to target demographics really specifically, down to age groups, men or women, and then the huge one, of course, not just all the different regions you can focus on, again, local, but you can target all the way down to interests, So obviously all of my ads include that the person who sees the ad has Ayurveda listed as an interest. So you'll want to make a list of the different potential interests or focus areas or groups or other pages that your prospective clients may like. And the great thing about this is that with Facebook, as with the other search engines, they'll help you out with that. As you start typing in kind of one of your keywords, a lot of options will pop up, and you can choose as many of those as you like. And again, you can target this entirely locally so that just local people see your ad, and you can speak directly to them. There are a lot of details about pay-per-click advertising, and all of those will be included in the PDF that helps you do all this. A lot of ways to get your cost per click, which is the amount that you pay when people click on your ad, to get that down as low as possible. I will mention, LinkedIn actually just started offering pay-per-click advertising as well. And I've been testing that, and it's been working out all right. Their minimum cost per click was very high to start with. So because my ad was converting pretty well, I opted instead for a cost for 1,000 impressions, which is another option. As you're watching the results on your ads, you can make a decision. You can say, okay, is it going to cost less for me to pay for each person who clicks, or is it going to cost less for every 1,000 people who just see my ad? And you'll look at the report, and the answer will be very clear. And I'll show you where to go to find that information. Online advertising partners. Well, just like you'd be focusing on looking for local partners here, you can also look for local partners or virtual partners that have popular websites, that get a lot of local traffic, for example, that would have a large email list of local people, and specifically, relevant local people, people that have lists that are focused on your target market. When you find those online advertising partners, those locals who have a good online presence or perhaps a good email list, then you can see if they already offer advertising on their website or their newsletter. If they don't already offer it, then contact them and work out a deal, work out an agreement. Most people, if they've got a decent list, if they've got a good web presence, they don't have advertising, and your service is really relevant to their market, and you say, hey, I'd like to pay you to be able to have my ad on your site or in your newsletter, most people are going to be open to that. So make sure that you reach out and connect. And what you'll want to do is create a text or a banner ad. Banner ad is just a picture with usually text on it, words on it, obviously. And guess what? Just like everything else, that's going to send traffic to your landing page. And what should those text and banner ads say? Well, of course, they should be challenge and results focused. They should say, I help this sort of person get this sort of result, or overcome this sort of challenge, find out how, etc. The other thing to discuss, and we'll get into this in more detail when we talk about partnerships, is you can discuss an affiliate relationship, an affiliate partnership. What you'll need to do to be able to make that work is to have affiliate software, tracking software, or some sort of tracking system. It depends on how much they really want to make sure that everything is tracked. But the basic idea here is that if I'm a partner with Jane, and Jane sends me a referral, a prospective client, and that client, that prospective client becomes a paying client, then I would pay a commission. I would pay a referral fee back to Jane. So you can do that either online, have that all built using software that tracks unique affiliate links. That's certainly the cleanest way to do it. But it's also workable, especially if it's workable for the partner, that if you just have a way that you ask your new clients, where did they hear about you? And you've got a section for that mentions that partner. All right, you might include them as a number of options or say other. Then you can track it manually as well. So 2 options. And affiliate partnerships are great because then instead of paying just directly for advertising, you're paying only for advertising that works, only for advertising that's actually generating results. So depending on the effectiveness, it may come out better or worse for you, but it's a really important strategy to know about. Here's the third one, media advertising. Right? So media, print is your newspapers, journals, magazines, radios, and television. When it's print, you want to focus on the newspaper sections, the journals, the magazines that have a concentration of your target market. Like everything else, you're going to be asking, you're going to be looking like a neon light, where is my prospective market looking, reading, etc. And you want to put your ad there. Same thing with radio or even television. Where are the programs that have a concentration of listeners or viewers in your target markets? And if you're going to spend money on advertising, you want it to be right during those programs, right? During those commercial breaks. Make it relevant. And of course, just with any of these, you want to use the same good rules for your advertisements, that they're challenge and results focused, that they clearly speak to needs, that they give a clear call to action, and that they are a piece of content. So you write them, even if it's abbreviated format, you still use your why, your what, your how, and your what if. Why, what's in it for you, what's the challenge that you overcome, the benefit that you get. If you don't take this action, you won't get this benefit, and you'll keep having this challenge. What, here's about the work that we do. How, here are the steps to take to start getting great results. And what if, take action now, call this number, visit this website, email this email, whatever your call to action is. Typically, it's going to be, again, like everything else, pointing people towards your landing page. But if also you have a number that's set up directly for people, for radio and television, a phone number is especially good. Phone numbers can be, especially if they're easy to remember, they can be easier for people to take action on than a website, unless the website is just very clear. You can also use both. So again, PDF will be included to give detailed instructions and guidelines for how to make the most out of your media advertising. I will say this, though, hopefully gone are the days where you spend a good chunk of money just putting an ad in there that says Ayurvedic practitioner, or looking for balance in your life, or anything generic and ephemeral, abstract, all right, where you've spent some money on it. Maybe it's a local holistic health journal, or you're just another modality in a sea there. Won't it be great to use these strategies instead and get a strong response every time you try a new strategy? And then you just get to pick the ones that you like the best and keep on improving them, making them work better and better. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about testing and tracking, how exactly to get a response, and what sort of things you want to test, and then what sort of things you want to track. This becomes, this is a way of, again, making your business really more and more of a science. This is the way that when you can find these little opportunities to get a either 5% more span or 5% more depth at any level here. Again, more span meaning that you found a way that you can get that much more traffic to your landing page, or you can get that much more conversion out of prospective clients, right? Turning them into clients. Every time you find a little piece like that, that translates into increases in your bottom line, increases in the number of clients you have, increases in your revenue, increases in your impact. So testing and tracking is, again, sometimes there can be a lot of resistance that comes up to that. Watch that resistance. Just see it, look at it, see if there are any thoughts that come up around like, oh, that's what business people do, and I'm not a business person. Anything like that. Anything that the static identity throws out there and says, you could never do that. This stuff is easy to do, and once you put your mind into the basic track where you're looking for these things and you get how important these little tweaks can be, getting that much more return, allow for it. And of course, get coaching. Always have come to the group coaching calls, do one-on-one coaching, get a chance to, once these systems and channels are in place, let an outside eye look at them. Get feedback. So let's check these out. How to get a response. You want to use, of course, concrete, specific, emotional, results-based language. That's the most important thing. Just think about that over and over and over again. Every time that you put something out there, ask, can I make this more concrete? Can I bring it out of the abstract into the earth? Can I bring it from heaven down to this planet right here? Could a video camera record this information and give this data directly? Could I see it? Could I taste it? Could I smell it? Could I touch it? Be specific. Any place where you can use numbers. This percentage, this amount of increase or decrease, this many number of people. The more specific you are, the more credible you become. Emotional is what I am saying. Does it deliver a visceral response? When I hear it, does it move me in some way? Right? Does it make a connection? And then is it results-based? Am I focused on, am I speaking directly to the challenges and results that my prospective client, that my target market is going after? Some of the other kind of great words to use in headlines, in ads, in marketing pieces are telling people what they can discover, what they can find out, and what they can get by taking action now, right? There's also an aspect of kind of curiosity there, right? Discover this, find out, get this by taking action now. So discover how you can use the 5-step Grow Your Ayurvedic Business System to get clients and keep them for a long time. Right? Find out how you can finally overcome hot flashes. Get great sleep tonight. Right? So all of those are taking action. So when people click, when they see the ad, they type in the URL, when they call the phone number, all of that, again, pointing towards the landing page and their next step, which is to get on your list. The next thing you want to do is test. Test different things. Test one change at a time. You may think, you may have an intuitive sense that something's going to work better than another. You always want to start with as clear, as concrete a benefit statement as you can. But it's always good to test. Always test your assumptions. Here are the sort of things you can test changing one thing at a time. You can try a different headline. Or you can try multiple different headlines. You can try different pictures. You can try different text in your actual ad or marketing piece. And what you want to do is basically see, okay, with each of these different headlines, different pictures, different text, which one generated the most traffic and the most conversion. So for example, if I had one headline that said, discover how to grow your Ayurvedic business, I could test that against another ad that said, discover how to get Ayurvedic clients. And I could see which one performs better and then take that. Then if I thought, well, you know what, I think there's something I can do even better than discover how to get Ayurvedic clients, I could test that against it and see which one does better. I could change up the picture. I could use a picture of myself in one. I could use a picture of, somebody who represents my prospective client, either with the challenge. I could use a picture of someone who represents my prospective client with the result. Test different pictures. See if that makes a big difference. They'll typically make a difference. So since it makes a difference, you want to pick the one that makes the best difference. And then try different text. Try different what, how, and what if. Different offers there. So again, start with your best. You don't have to do, you don't have to get too crazy about this. But just have that as a basic mindset to test and to improve things over time. You'll also get feedback from your clients as you're doing your sales sadhana process, as you're working with your clients. There may be something that you just discover that, wow, that really hit me deep. That's something that I've been saying that's hitting my clients really deep. It's this thread of truth and of emotion and feeling that runs really deep through my market. And when I look at my marketing materials, maybe I have a little whisper of it here and there, but it might be something I could try more front and center. And try that. Test that out. See what happens. See if you can incorporate that more into some headlines, some pictures, some text. See what it does. So that's the test, and then the second part of that is to track. What do you want to track? Well, the main things to track, again, are your span, your response rate, and your depth, your conversion rate. So span, response rate. One thing that you can use when you go to your cPanel in your web hosting, like HostGator that we were showing you there last week, you'll have on your cPanel a little button there that says AWStats. So scroll down and click on AWStats, AW Stats. That will give you some great statistics on your website. But the thing that you want to look at here in terms of response rate is, where is the traffic coming to your site from? You'll have a section that says, traffic comes from these different websites or URLs. See where most of your traffic is coming from. That's great information. Can you get more traffic from that site? And then if you're using different URLs, website addresses, to track your media advertising, you can look at which pages are getting enough traffic. So I'll give you an example of how to do this. And again, this will be in the PDF. If I was running an ad in the Union, my local newspaper, I could create a site that was just everydayayurveda.org/theunion, so that when people type in, see my advertisement, I would use that URL. I'd say visit everydayayurveda.org/theunion. And not everybody's going to type in that exact address. Some people know that if they type in everydayayurveda.org, it's probably going to get them there still. But enough people will type in the Union that will give me at least some sense that I can track what sort of response I'm getting. So with WordPress, you would just create that as a separate page to track that. And you can duplicate your exact same landing page with a separate URL. Again, details on how to do that in the PDF. You also want to track your pay-per-click reports and adjust your campaigns that way. So all of your pay-per-click, anytime you do a campaign, you'll get a report, and you can check in on that report, and you can say, okay, who's clicking on what? Which keywords are getting the most clicks? How much are they costing? They even have, in the next area here, conversion, you can actually use conversion code and type that into your thank you page. That may mean nothing to you right now, so it'll be in the PDF. The basic idea is this. You can actually say, okay, this particular keyword, say you were focused on the menopause area, hot flashes, gets this many clicks. But the number of people that follow that, that click on it through doing a search on hot flashes, only a very small percentage of them are actually converting into subscribers. Whereas, holistic menopause support, that's not getting very many clicks at all, but a tremendous number of the people that click on that are becoming subscribers. So that's going to be a great win for you. You're going to want to make sure that that keyword gets a lot of your attention. So hot flashes might be costing you a lot and not giving you a lot back. It might be something you decide to drop. Whereas that holistic menopause support is giving you a ton of action, or a ton of return on investment. So you'll just want to track your pay-per-click reports and adjust your campaigns. And as with anything, if you decide, that's not actually where I'm most excited to spend my time, tracking pay-per-click reports and adjusting campaigns, you can outsource these things. There are many people, companies, organizations that are happy to do this. And again, you can check our business resources page for options about what to do, what to hand over, and to whom. You just need to decide, what is your time worth and where does your interest lie? Where's your greatest joy? And if it's not tracking pay-per-click reports and adjusting your campaigns, which it very well may not be, it's still something important to do. And if you can get a return on it, do it. Have somebody else do it. The next thing is your conversion rate. And again, we spoke about this in the beginning, so kind of full circle here. Know how many visitors does it take to get a new opt-in, to get a new subscriber? How many opt-ins, how many subscribers does it take to get a new client? And this will help you gauge the value of a lead, the value of somebody visiting your website, so that when you're looking at advertising, networking, any marketing opportunities, any channels, you can say, okay, what's the potential, what's a conservative amount of potential traffic I can get to my landing page, targeted traffic through this new channel that I'm looking at. And let's say it's maybe, it's a potential advertising partner, and they said, you'll probably get about 200 clicks from our site in the next month. That's sort of average. And they can say, you can look at our other advertisers here. It's a good site. It's got good targeted traffic. It's going to be the sort of people that you're going after. 200. And if you know that it takes, say, 10 visitors for you to get one new subscriber, right? 10 visitors to get one new subscriber, you've got a 10% opt-in. And for every 10 subscribers, you get a new client. And a new client is worth, let's say a new client is worth $700 a month to you. Okay? So let's just say. New client is worth $700 a month to you, and they're going to at least work with you for, let's say your average client works with you for 6 months. So the immediate, the guaranteed lifetime value of this client is maybe $4,000, with the full pay. All right? So we'll work it backwards. So you've got a client's worth $4,000. It takes 10 subscribers to get it to ultimately to get a new client, and it takes 10 visitors to get a new opt-in. That means that ultimately you need 100 visitors to get a new client. This advertiser is saying that they may be able to get you 200 visitors in this month. So 200 visitors, you think, well, that's pretty good. Since I know my conversion numbers, that should be able to turn into about 2 clients. So that amount of traffic is worth about $8,000 to me over the next 6 months. And to advertise with this partner, this advertiser here, it's going to cost me $500 this month. Is that good? Well, if you can get a net return of $7,500, that sounds pretty good to me. I'd do it. I'd go for it. I'd test it. So in this way, you can look through, once you know your span, once you know your depth, once you know your response and conversion rates and the value of a visitor, you can look at all of these different channels and you can make an educated decision. You won't always be right, but you can at least not be totally guessing. You can be in the ballpark about getting a sense for whether or not this is a good investment opportunity for your business. Week 10, lead sources. Here's the implementation homework. Number 1, ask your clients for testimonials and referrals. And again, the PDF will be up, so you can look at some ideas about how to best do that, where to use those testimonials, how to make it really easy for your clients to give you referrals. And then secondly, this would be probably the next biggest thing to do. And you don't have to get it done this week. Obviously, it's a process, but I would make this a priority as well. Create and optimize your social media accounts for LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And then follow the general guidelines for how to get the most from those over time. Then third, this is one that you can do immediately. All right, this is one to definitely do this week. Set up your professional email address if you're not already using one. Right, your name at your business or yourname@yourname.com, and then create your email signature using the template and guidelines from the PDF on how to do that and make that effective. Then your fourth piece of homework would just be to start with one other lead source strategy. Just do one at a time. Do one, test one, track one, get it working, and then do another when you have time to do another after that. And as opportunities keep on coming along, look at your numbers. So that's another important homework piece here, of course, is as soon as you can and on an ongoing basis, say on a monthly basis, track your response rates, track your conversion rates, and get a clear sense for, because it will change over time, the value of a client for you. Get a sense for how much a client is worth, and therefore do the math. And I'll include that information as well, of course. Do the math on figuring out how much a visitor is worth, one potential lead. Post a comment on the blog. A lot of content here. And don't be overwhelmed. Be excited with all the potential, the unlimited potential for growth and opportunity. And know that whatever step you're on right now is the right one for you. This will be here waiting for you whenever you're ready for it. And it will be obviously an area that continues to evolve, but the principles will remain the same. You always want to focus on your target market and speaking directly to their needs, and then making a clear decision about whether each channel seems like a good one for investment. Doing that scientifically. Meet with your mastermind group and share information on this. Talk about the lead sources you're using currently, your wins, your losses, the ones you like the best, preparation and plans. And we actually have 10 minutes left here, which is great. Next week, as I mentioned before, we're going to do a marketing Q&A, a wrap-up on the sections on your landing page, your opt-in offer, and the lead sources. So we'll get a chance to do, again, just a very short presentation, a summary and overview, and then just dive in, answer any questions that you have up to this point. So let's see what questions we have right now. For a moment there, apparently Rolinda was not able to hear me. That could be if you were listening through. Again, if you have difficulty hearing me and you're listening to me through your computer, usually the issue is going to be that your bandwidth is just fluctuating, so you're not able to hear my voice for a period of time. And Rolinda, is your hand up? It is. Let me open your line here. And yeah, I can see you're on the mic, so that's probably what the issue was. Hi, Rolinda.
Hi, Jacob.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. My question related back to websites. I have currently a website that is being hosted by GoDaddy, and it's actually been sort of managed more by the person who helped me to create it. And what I'm doing right now is I've been working on a website on my Mac using the program that comes with that. And I just wondered, because I was not able to go to the one on social media, and I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. But I wondered, is HostGator, is it possible to transfer from one entity like GoDaddy to HostGator?
Yeah, but those GoDaddy templated websites are not real great for growth and user friend. They're just not that great in general, which is the reason that we recommended using the free WordPress site and template. There's no end to the beauty of WordPress. There are just so many things. Anything that you could ever want to do, WordPress is a platform that allows for it. GoDaddy, very, very limited. You can transfer your domain name, you can transfer your hosting, you can transfer everything over to HostGator. That's fine. All of that can be transferred. But the GoDaddy website, my ultimate advice there is probably to to dump it and go for the WordPress website at some point or
Okay,
another.
because my website currently is a WordPress website. In other words, if I go in to log into it, I have to log in through the
Yeah.
whatever WordPress/admin.
Back end there, yeah.
Yeah, so that it's already in that format. But what I'm finding is that for myself, not being a real computer savvy person, I'm having trouble like even going in to change the background color, move pictures around, that kind of thing on my website, the way that she created it. So
yeah, it's kind of a, it's a line of intelligence to develop, working on that tech stuff and being able to move stuff around and create it. So, the easiest thing, again, the biggest leverage, the thing that you get the most out of is not a full website, but a landing page.
Okay.
And if you follow Mark's tutorials from last week, you can go step by step through getting your landing page up and being able to edit it really quite simply. And if that ends up being, again, if that just is a stumbling block or gets in the way, I just say, use Mark for it. Go for it. Have him do it. Get it up, and that's the most important thing. It's a landing page is 1/10 of the work of creating a full website, and it's 100 times the value.
Okay.
So, and he included really everything that you need in the zip file there. So that's a lot. That's one of the things I felt so happy about getting him on board and being able to offer through this program, is that if you use that, if you just put that in place, that right there gives you everything you need to, with a landing, just a good landing page alone, the system, and then pointing traffic towards it, you can create a thriving six-figure practice without ever needing to have a full website.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we'll get into that. Thank you so much for that question. And any other questions that come up, website or otherwise, next week, we will we'll dive in deep with that.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Linda. Until soon. All right. Next question I have here is from Christine. And Christine, you asked for pay-per-click advertising, about how much do you pay for each time someone clicks on your ad? And the answer is it varies dramatically. It could be as low as 20-something cents. That's going to be probably as low as you're going to get anywhere. That's good. That's really good. If you can get clicks down to 20-something cents. And then depending on the competitiveness of the keyword, of the market, how broad or narrow you're targeting, it can literally go up to $50, $60, $80, $100 per click. So, that's a lot. And you'll see that the places where that happens are these highly targeted keywords that are actually not the best place to invest, obviously. So you want to look for usually a sampling of keywords that you can pay a lower cost per click, and test it. I usually, for me, I like to make sure that my cost per click is at least under $1. That's my goal. My overall pay-per-click campaigns, like on Facebook, my cost per click average is around 26 cents, which is great. So that's kind of the goal area, to get it down under $1 and then under 75 cents. Each sort of quarter is a great increment to be going for. And the ways that you do that are through testing and tracking and tweaking over time, as well as creating a lot of different ads. The way that most of these formulas work, I'll describe this real quick, is that like on Facebook, you pay less the more that your ad gets clicked on. And if you were the advertising network, that would make sense, right? You want to focus on the ads that are the most relevant. And how do you measure relevance? Well, the most people are clicking on them. So you reward those advertisers by making them pay a lower cost per click. So that's how most of these formulas work. And I'll include more details on that in the PDF in terms of everything you can do to get that cost down. But great question. All right, we've got just another couple minutes. If you have any other questions, go ahead and go for it. Let's see, someone has a hand up. But guess whose hand is up? It's Gabby's hand. And Gabby, I know that your hand is, for some reason, just sort of chronically up with our GoToWebinar. So if you have an actual question, just let me know in the chat box. Otherwise, I'll assume that's the normal state here. So going once, going twice, going 3 times, and we are at the end of our time here. So we'll have plenty of time next week, and again, we'll have our Monday coaching call, which just a pleasure. So keep coming to those. Until then, much love. Namaste.